Hi everyone, it's Elo. I hope that you're doing well. Today, we're about halfway through September, which to me means that fall is coming, which is my favorite time of year. And I thought today I would make a video showing all of my favorite autumn stuff that I've acquired over the years, and hopefully I can show this video to my boyfriend and he will see how happy I am and be okay that I'm going to sneak early decorate for fall. So here's hoping that that blows over well. It's too late now because here we are. So anyway, some of this stuff is more Thanksgiving themed, like this lovely welcome turkey, but it's all sort of grouped together in my organizational system, so I'm going to be just working with all of it today and showing you as much as I can. I have some flowers here. These are actually just obviously fake. They're from, I think I got them at Walmart, and they were out front in some big pots with some poinsettias, and I thought that the gold and the red looked really nice together for Christmas. But since I have brought them inside, so they don't fade, and they have a real sort of Halloween vibe to them too, because they're black petals with these goldish orange leaves. So I really love these. And these are real flowers that are sort of petrified at this point. This was the first grouping of flowers that my boyfriend gave me, and I've kept them. And I think that dead flowers are really pretty. I don't know, I guess some people think they're gross, but I like the sort of weird charm that they have. And I think that it's neat that they stay so well preserved sometimes, despite being lifeless. It's just really cool to me. Maybe watched too much Beauty and the Beast growing up. But anyway, so this little guy is just a hangable ornamental turkey with a little welcome at the bottom. And I think I might have gotten him at a store that we have here called Hobby Lobby, which is a craft store, I guess, but they have really great seasonal decorations. That's the main reason I go there. And I think, well, I know that after each season, shortly after, they have an enormous amount of goods on sale at a huge discount. So I would imagine that that's when I got this guy. So that is item number 1. And I have a big box here of other items. This is the second item. Obviously a little decorational turkey. And it kind of has a weird old feeling to me. I got it at a thrift store when I lived in Virginia. There was this really awesome place called 2 Times New, and I was absolutely obsessed with it because they had a lot of really cute stuff there. People could essentially buy a booth, and it was like having a tag sale all year round. You could just put whatever you wanted up for sale. And At one point, people were breaking out their decorations that they no longer wanted, and this was one of them. And I like it because if you hang it on a shelf, the legs sort of flop over and they're just kind of cute. And it's not really my style all the way, but still, you find that as you're building your collection of, holiday items, it is expensive to bring that homey feel to every holiday. So when you can get something for a discounted price that is cute enough, sometimes you just take it. And this was one of those purchases. I also think that her face is really cute. She just looks so, not sad, but I don't know, innocent, and like she's watching a really bad Thanksgiving family fight. Another thing I really like about this turkey is that his feathers are tin, so I don't know how that's gonna sound on the microphone. I might have to cut it, but in real life, when you have it outside and it blows in the wind or the rain hits it, it sounds really nice. Let's see what's next. These three little strange pilgrim turkeys. This was actually, I bought this at the same time as the previous decoration, and they have really cute little stitched together cloth feathers, and I just think it's funny. They have that same almost sad expression on their faces, and they're pilgrims, so this is a treasure, in my opinion. I just think that it's really odd and quirky, and they almost look like they're ready to go caroling too, the way that they're lined up, which I think is just strange, but I just get a laugh every time I see this. I think maybe that's the reason why I buy most of my decorations, is if I think it's cute or it makes me laugh. So I might not be the best holiday decorator, but there it is. And as a side note, as I was saying, it can be really expensive to decorate for the holidays. And I know that my first year that I was on my own, I was really bummed out because I didn't have a whole lot of money, and I wanted so badly to have that same holiday spirit that I was used to. And I guess I just want to say, if you're going through that right now, even if it's not your first time out of the house, but if you just don't always have the finances to bring around the most, lavish decorations, it's a process, and I'll just enjoy what you can get. And I've also come to find out that the dollar store, I don't know how it is in other parts of the country or the world, but we have actual dollar stores here where everything is $1, and they have really nice, I shouldn't say nice, but nice stuff. I mean, you can get full sets of dishes, glassware, all kinds of home products. Maybe some of the stuff you might want to stray away from, but when it comes to holiday decorations, they usually have a lot of good stuff, and no one can tell that it's not top dollar decorations. And I frequent going to the dollar store now to decorate, and kind of one of the fun parts is that some of it you can keep to the next years, and other things you might throw away, but it was only $1, and then you get a whole new setup the next year. You know, for $10 or $15 you can have quite a few decorations. So just something to think about. I have a lot of these. Oh, because this is a cornucopia. Okay, I definitely can't put this out yet. I think my boyfriend would just throw it in the garbage. But he wouldn't actually. But this is my little Thanksgiving cornucopia. And I've actually never thought about where the word cornucopia comes from until this very moment. But sometimes here anyway, at the holidays, specifically Thanksgiving, you'll have this sort of horn shape like this that will be a basket, or nowadays sometimes people have gotten so fancy that they'll make the basket part out of food, and then usually the inside of the cornucopia will be filled with food. So sometimes bread and cheese, grapes, some people do like pretzels and just whatever you really feel like, rolls I've seen before for dinner. So a fun thing to have if you're not an entertainer is just to have a decorative cornucopia. And mine I just fill with these tiny pumpkins, which were hand-me-downs. Actually, all of this was hand-me-down from my family, so free decoration, and one of my favorites actually. I might leave this on the table just to make myself happy. Okay. This is more of a true Halloween decoration. I don't know if I still have 2 of these, but initially I bought 2, and I think I got them from a craft store. And I'm not sure if you're supposed to draw a face on them or something, but they're this really thin wood. And I love the sound. And I actually initially got these, I can't believe I remember this, but it's my junior year, I think, of high school, which would have been 2006, 2007. And I had to do a sort of book report, which was weird because I was in like an AP English class. But we had to bring in tactile like props to go along with the discussion of the book that we read. And I read Lovely Bones, and I think I waited until the very last minute because I was probably working on other projects or college essays or who knows what, and this class was kind of easy, even though I really loved the teacher. And so I think I probably got these like the night before, and I don't know how I casually made them work for my presentation, but I did. And now I really, really love using them as Halloween decorations. They have a very Spanish vibe to me, like Dia de los Muertos, and I love that. And sometimes I will move the skeleton around the house, just use it for different scenes. sometimes I'll put it beneath a large bundling of flowers, kind of like, an altar sort of situation, which is just fun. I've always really been interested in Dia de los Muertos and Halloween, but there's just something really special to me about the thought of your family being able to talk to you and just paying them respect, your elders or the people who have passed away already. It's just nice, I think, to have that sense of connection. And it takes something that seems kind of scary, like death, and makes it almost accessible and relatable, and like it's okay, because your family who's still alive will be, still loving you. And I'm not a huge believer in a lot of religious stuff, so I'm not trying to preach, but I just think that the concept of all of that is really nice. And if you haven't seen the Disney movie Coco, it's all about a Dia de los Muertos adventure. It's great for children, and it's a really good film. And if that's not up your alley, that's fine too, but it's still a good entry point to learning about that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is just another little pumpkin, and I like to set these with my little displays around the house. Let's see. This is one of my favorite of all time decorations. It is a light up Snoopy who is in his little vampire costume and sitting on his jack-o'-lantern. And I usually will put this in my front window and plug it in at night. And I think it's really cute. I don't know if you can tell, but it has a sort of shimmery quality, like a reflector almost. So when it's plugged up and backlit, it's really bright and pretty. You can see it from the street really easily. And I've had this guy probably for 10 years now, and have kept him in my window every year. I think it's also a good way to tell trick-or-treaters that I'm open for business. It seems like a pretty obvious gesture, so I like that. These are the kind of like throwaway decorations that they're usually just like $1, and you can put them pretty much anywhere, and they just add some nice color. And then I've had a bunch of these, and eventually they just sort of deteriorate and you just throw them away. Or if something happens to them in the first year you have them, it's not that critical because they're cheap. I really love the acorns, especially. And I was actually sparked to do all this, I guess, because today when I went grocery shopping, my grocery store had Indian corn and gourds for sale already. So if it's time for them, it's definitely time for me. Here's another little wreath. This one is much smaller, so it used to be fine when I had an apartment because you didn't really need to see anything from the street because the apartments were so tucked away. So it looked cute on the door, but now being in a house, it's just too small. So it's more of an indoor decoration now. And it's got some felt leaves and other little knickknacks adhered to it. And I think that I got this one along with the others from 2 Times New, so it's cheap and it served me fine enough. And this one, says harvest instead of welcome, so not only does that make it a little bit more specific for the timing, but it's also not as much of an outdoor piece, because I don't know what I would think if I walked up to someone's door and it just said harvest. That's not much of a message, I don't think, for a front door. And this is one of my other favorite wreaths, which looks really nice on, or it did look really nice on my old front door, which was a teal color. And the wood to the stairs at my old apartment complex was a really dark wood, and then the doors were like a bright green teal color, and this wreath really stood out and looked really pretty and autumnal and everything that I wanted. So I love it for that reason, and this is like my starter wreath for the season usually. Right now I have a heart out there by the door, but even though this one is really cheap, and I think I got it at the dollar store, it actually from a distance looks pretty good, and you can't really tell until you get up close, in my opinion, that it's not great quality. It gets the job done, and I really like the colors in it, so I'm happy. Well, this was from my last job when it was Halloween. We had these little hats, and this has become my Halloween queen hat because I'm not a very diva type person, but I do love to celebrate holidays. I don't get very sassy about it or anything, but I just have a good feeling inside of me when it's time for the holidays, so I'm a little more expressive than the rest of the year. And it's nice just to goof around like that sometimes, especially because I'm not usually a very goofy person in those ways, I guess. I'm kind of more shy, so. These are also some wreaths, but of a different kind. These are just my Halloween indoor. They're felt. I think I got them at Target for like $2, if not the dollar store. And this one's just a little spoopy spider web. And the other one is an adorable owl. And it says boo around the outside. So that's cute. I usually hang these on either side of an area that has like a light underneath, so that way when the main lights go off, the lamps are still on, they're sort of lit up in that stream of light, and I think it looks kind of neat. I also have these little scene decorations sometimes, like a little picnic or something like that. I have a little diner too, like it lights up and everything. And I usually just put these all together with my different arrangements that I create throughout the house. So they're small decorations, but they're fun just to add a little flair to a table or some sort of arrangement. And this little guy I also got at 2 Times New, and he was apparently originally $2.99, but I think I got him for like 50 cents. And I always put this for some reason near where I do the dishes. Doing the dishes is one of the things in life that I hate the most, and I often only get through doing the dishes by putting on some really good headphones and listening to ASMR while I do the dishes, because I just hate it that much. And it's something that I have to do every day, so anything I can do to make that process less terrible is fine by me. And this little silly turkey is another thing that makes me smile. And it also just has that grandma's house feel to me. Something about the coloring, the design, and just his dumb little face and acorn looking nose just reminds me a lot of grandma's house. And I think that that's an association that I have with the holidays as well, since when I was growing up, we always went to my mom's house for a lot of our holidays. Thanksgiving was actually the one that we hosted, so that had a very special place too. This also reminds me of a store that my mom used to take me to sometimes when I was younger, and I actually had my birthday there once, because they had little projects that you could do, little crafts, and they would always be some piece of wood like this that you would then paint. The store is called Country something, I think. It was in Connecticut. If you live there and you have any idea what I'm talking about, drop it in the comments below. That would be a big blast from my past. But yeah, you could bring a group of friends and go paint little pre-cut molds. They sold a lot of different kinds of paints, so it was really fun. And so this might be small, but it kind of has a lot of memory for me associated with it. And it's kind of neat how you can find something in a store that's really reminiscent of different parts of your life, even though you've never seen it before. I like that. This guy is a treasure, time-worn treasure. I don't know if these are popular anymore, but when I was growing up, these were very popular. You hang them on a doorknob in your house, and I'm not going to turn this on, because it's incredibly loud, but it's meant to obviously scare. And if you leave it on, then when someone goes and moves it, disturbs it, like opens the closet door or something like that, it'll make a loud jarring noise. And it also has these stupid floppy legs that I think are really funny. So this guy has been around in my family for years and years and years. He was definitely a thing of my nightmares growing up, but I've grown rather fond of him. He's sort of the same purple color as the Hamburglar. Whatever happened to the Hamburglar? Or not the Hamburglar. What was his eggplant friend's name? The Hamburglar was the little boy with the bandit mask. I'll have to look it up. I can't remember what the purple dude's name was. He's definitely the most aesthetically pleasing McDonald's character to me, though. I would like to see a revival, personally, of the McDonald's whole pack of friends. If I had any artistic ability whatsoever. When it comes to drawing, I would definitely be whipping out a series of what they're doing now. Okay, let's see. This is another weird, creepy object that has been in my house for quite a while. And he says, "Hey, where are you going?" when you pass him. And his eyes will shift left to right and glow. So this is a really fun one to put on the porch when you have trick-or-treaters, because it's very unassuming, but it has a really good sensor. So once it picks up, it's really loud too, which I think is a trend with Halloween decorations. As long as they're loud, they're probably going to startle you. So it's fun to see anyone really walk up to the house and get scared by this. This is another little gem here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a solar powered little shaking head skeletons coming out of the ground thing. And I think my mom got this for me, but I'm not sure for certain. And it's actually makes a really pleasant noise. I don't know if you've ever had one of these in your house, but it's a really light plastic click, and it's really pleasant to listen to. So I like having this in a sunny spot when, if there is any sunshine, when it's fall, because it just does a little back and forth dance and makes that nice clicking noise, and it's just a stupid, cute little decoration. Again, just makes me smile. And actually one time I was going to a different thrift store and I saw a car that had like hundreds of these all on the front dashboard. They must have been super glued down or something. The whole front dashboard was filled with things that were just shaking or flapping or whatever, and it went all the way around the car into the back area by the window, and it was really fascinating. I have a video of it, but I'm sure that would be some sort of privacy issue to share, but maybe I'll put it on Patreon. It was really, really crazy to see all that. I can't imagine how it sounded in that car and how it would sound when the person would drive and take a turn. I also have quite a few of these felt hanging decorations, and these were definitely from Target. And you can just hang them across the wall or something, tack them or tape them, I guess. I think I usually use thumbtacks because the ends are just a piece of ribbon, but I'm sure you could do it some other way. I have a couple of these, and they're just another really easy and cheap decoration that can add a lot of character. If you were having a party, this would be a really cute sort of banner to put near or in the front of a table with, snacks and punch and whatnot. And also very convenient to stow. Just folds into a nice little pancake stack. If I was really smart, I would probably put a rubber band or something around it, or a bow. If they were really smart, they would have made these long enough that you could wrap them around and tie it. But I can't be everywhere at once, right? Just kidding. Okay. I also tend to use things like this from just the dollar store or wherever for candy bowls, because they're really simple and you can even put other sorts of decorations in them since it's a decoration in itself. Just an easy way to get by with that. And another thing I really like are the decals that you can stick to your windows. And just wanted to show this to give you the tip that if you want to preserve these, you can just use a piece of wax paper, which is really cheap, and all you have to do is fold the wax paper around your decal and close it up, and it keeps them tacky for the next year, so they'll easily stick back on your window, and that way you don't have to throw them out, because these are usually pretty classic in the style sense. They're never really busy or overdone, so it's a good thing to just save and have again for next year. And this one also came with 2 little bats. It's a good sound. And I was also going to say that the only thing to make sure of when you're using these sticky decorations is that they do leave a sort of residue on your window, and they will also pick up bugs if bugs get stuck walking on them. They'll be stuck for good, but you can always put a piece of wax paper or maybe even cling wrap or something, but that might be a little odd, behind, and it'll give it sort of a hazy look too, which is kind of cool. But as far as the window residue goes, as long as you just have regular old glass cleaner like Windex, it comes right off. You just have to spray a lot and use a paper towel. It wipes right off. So the other decorations that I haven't shown yet are predominantly similar to what we've seen, and then I have a huge ball of orange lights, like Christmas lights, but just completely orange. And sometimes I'll make a pattern. If you ever get bored, this is a fun thing to do, and it's really easy to do in a dorm too, if you don't have much creative freedom, or an apartment, whatever. Put on a movie that you like, and you can use regular thumbtacks that you get at the dollar store or Walmart or wherever for like 50 cents, and create a pattern on the wall. So sometimes for Valentine's Day I'll use red lights and make a heart, or for Halloween I'll use my orange lights and make a pumpkin shape or something like that. And it takes a few tries, but if you make too many holes in your wall, especially if they're textured walls or white walls, you can just use regular toothpaste, white toothpaste, and smudge up the hole, and nobody will really ever notice. Or if you make a lot of holes or a noticeable hole, it's really not that expensive or hard to get some caulk from like a home improvement store or from Walmart again or someplace like that, and just cover them up. So I say do your decorating and don't worry. I've never gotten in trouble for putting thumbtack holes in a wall in any apartment or home I've ever rented. So I don't think that that's a huge deal, and it's kind of fun to see what sort of pattern you can come up with. I was thinking this year of doing like a cat with all my orange lights and making its tail wrap around. I think that would be really cool, so something to try. Now that we've got the decorations out of the way, the other thing that really excites me about the fall weather and everything that's coming is the clothing. As much as I've grown to love being outside and enjoying some of what summer has to offer, I always feel most comfortable when I'm in jeans and a hoodie. That's sort of my most preferred clothing, I guess. So there's no better time for me than fall. And I just pulled some of my favorite fall pieces, and I just wanted to share them with you. I'm by no means the most stylish person on the planet, but I do have a few pieces that I really like, so humor me, I guess. The first thing would be these gloves. They have these little buttons at top. So you can close the glove or keep it open like this. And when you have it open, your fingers come out at the top, which I know some people don't like that style, or they associate it with like emo, whatever, I don't know. But I think these are really cute, and having your fingers free, I don't care what anyone says, this is an advantage. I have other gloves that have like a touch smartphone thumb tip and fingertip built in, and that's fine, but there's nothing more functional, I guess, in my opinion, than when you have the cut off fingers. And these ones are particularly nice because they have these little hats that you can fold over and make into mittens, so you can burrow and still have your fingertips warm if you want to, and if you don't want to, you can just use the button to tie them back. And I think it's really cute that they look like a little beanie. So, I don't wear gloves all the time, but sometimes you just have to, especially when I'm biking or something like that. If it's a little bit cooler, your fingers can get really, really painfully stingy, and these help. Next, this is my Hogwarts scarf. It's an infinity scarf of the Marauders map. So it's pretty long, and here it says Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and it has all of the map diagram on it and little footprints. I'm gonna just move these up here so I don't break anything, because I will. Here we go. So this was a present given to me, and I really love it. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I don't talk about it incessantly, but these books were sort of a really big saving grace for me when I was really struggling through school. I think I started reading the first one in like the 4th grade, and I was so glad that I had found this series that I really connected with, and books continued to come out all throughout my high school career, and the movies too. So that was with me for the better portion of my life, and it definitely has a very important place for me. So even though I might not talk about it all the time, it's still something that's been a part of me, and something that will probably always be a part of me. And I'm always very thankful that that series was ever written. And I know that I've read J.K. Rowling had to go through a lot of failure and hard times to finally get that out to us, and it's just one of those things that keeps me moving, I guess, and keeps me thinking that I should keep trying. So it's a very smooth scarf, and the reason why I mainly wear it in the fall, even though Harry Potter has a huge Christmas time connection for me and anyone who has ABC, this is more of the weight of scarf that you would want for the fall, where sometimes it's almost decorational. So there's that. And then I also have a couple jackets that I get excited about. This one is just a green, sort of deep olive toned jacket that is a little more on the masculine side, which I really like. I tend to wear more masculine style jackets like bomber jackets and this sort of more like cargo pocket type jacket, especially in the fall. And I'll pair something like this with like a tighter, more feminine jean or something like that to balance the look. Or some days I just feel like being more masculine and I'll wear like a more male sort of look. And this is one of my favorite pieces for that. It's got a nice straight seam down the back, which can be really flattering for a body shape like mine. And I love that it has a lot of zippers. It sort of lends itself to that more utility style. And I love having pockets, and secret pockets have always been exciting for me, even in jackets and stuff. And so having all these pockets is a huge perk, in my opinion. And I think that you can also pair this olive colored jacket with something brighter, like a gold scarf. This was another gift, and it's a very large golden scarf. And I don't want to make too much noise, but I usually wear this pretty traditionally, I guess. Just a single wrap around the neck usually. But this scarf is incredibly soft. It feels really, really good. So I like having these softer textures to keep warm. This is definitely a warmer option than the Harry Potter scarf. Because there's just so much fabric. It's actually a pretty sheer fabric when it comes down to it. But it's so long and fluffy that it really keeps you nice and warm. So I like mixing these gold tones with some of the darker colors that I wear. Most of my wardrobe is black, and I try to wear more colors when I'm doing videos, but a lot of what I wear is dark, so it's nice to have a pop of color that's really fall feeling and very comfortable. And then something I might wear along with that would probably be a shoe like this. These are my Minnetonkas. If you've never owned a pair, these are some of the most comfortable moccasin shoes out there. I have 2 pairs, and I've worn 1 pair completely out, so I've had 3 in my life, and I would wear these year round if I could. They're so incredibly comfortable. I wear them usually barefoot, and they don't stink, which is a huge plus for me, because I don't always want to put on socks if I'm running out the door or something. And I know that some people might not wear this style out in public, but I really don't care. And I think that comfort sometimes is way more important than anything. And I actually sometimes wear these shoes with the dress that I have on. And sometimes I put on like auburn or dark red, maroon colored tights. And having the puffy white edge at the bottom is kind of cute and transitions this dress into something more fall appropriate than summer. So these are my favorite shoes in the world. I highly recommend getting a pair. They have men's and women's, and they can be a little expensive depending on where you buy from. I get these at TJ Maxx, which is a sort of, I don't know how you explain TJ Maxx. They have some name brands, but it's all stuff that wasn't purchased in its initial cycle usually, or bought at auction or something like that. So it's more affordable. So if you have an option like that, to get your Minnetonkas instead of straight from the dealer, so to speak, I think they'd probably be cheaper. Another jacket I really love the collar looks amazing with blue jeans, and it's so comfortable. This is one of my favorite jackets, and I really look forward to wearing it again. It was a birthday present, actually, I think birthday or Christmas last year. It has quickly become one of my favorites, and often when I'm wearing that sort of jacket and blue jeans, I'll also put on a pair of boots like these. These come up to right about the top of my calf, right below my knee, and I got them on sale at the Designer Shoe Warehouse, DSW. They have some little buckles in the back, and of course the long zipper in the middle. They're also really soft. And I've always loved the look of boots since I was young. But by the time I got into high school and had the freedom to buy myself a pair, I was too shy, I guess. I was worried that they were not conservative enough, I guess, it probably doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but a lot of the times these sorts of knee-high or thigh-high boots can be worn in a more showy way, and I didn't have a whole lot of guidance about that kind of thing, and I just was too shy to buy myself a pair. I felt like they were a real statement piece, and I didn't know if I could pull it off, I guess. Just one of those confidence things that's really silly and rooted in nothing that makes any sense. So I got these just this last year, and I've been so happy with them. I was still worried that I wasn't like girly enough or something to wear them, especially because where I live, a lot of very well put together, I guess, girls that are more into style and have a certain look around here wear boots like these often, so I didn't really want to be putting myself into that category, I guess, because I know that I'm not going to look the same as them wearing these. My style is way different and I wear them differently, and I'm okay with that now, but it was definitely, I was still scared even when I was buying them. But I've come to really, really love them, and I feel like there's a different way to wear them and be sort of more of a dark vixen, I guess, rather than a bubbly or promiscuous person. I suppose if I was wearing a very small outfit and these were shiny and black, it might give off a different vibe, but they can look really, really cute with jeans, and they have the exact fall aesthetic that I love. And as much as I hate Facebook, I've really come to like being exposed to more girls who are similar to me, who have more of like a vampy sort of wardrobe. And I think that it can be really, really pretty, so I don't care. I like it now. And I also sometimes even add a little bit of a girly flair to these outfits by wearing this, which is, I guess, an ear warmer, if you want to think of it that way. It goes around the head and works like a headband. So if you're having a bad hair day, it's a double plus. And it's got this cute little Great Gatsby sort of plume on it, which I just like how it looks. But this is a really effective, like almost like earmuffs, modern earmuffs, and really cute, I think. I wish that I could find more of these. I think this one's Candy's brand, so I think that means I probably got it at Kohl's at some point, but I have no recollection of buying it. So I'm gonna be on the hunt, and if you know any place to get one of these, definitely let me know, because I would love to have more of these. They're so easy and so helpful, and they go with a lot of stuff too. But often I'll just wear a more traditional hat, which this is one of my favorites. That's on the newer side for me. It's Adidas, and I got it again at TJ Maxx, so it was like $4. And I think that I love hats. I'm a huge hat person. And this one goes really well in winter too, but on those really rainy, gray days in October and November, this is always an option to have a gray knit hat. So this is the kind of stuff that you would see me in if you saw me on the street. And just add a couple more items too. This is a nice sort of skinny scarf. It doesn't have a whole lot of layering to it, and it's more of a muted pattern and color scheme, but that's part of why I really enjoy it, because it goes really well against the bolder colors like that bright pink or salmon jacket, but it can also still sort of blend in nicely with the darker tones that I wear. So if you're building a wardrobe, definitely recommend having some fall stuff that's vibrant and, you know, loud and more of a statement piece, but don't forget to also acquire some more muted tones. They can be really pretty, and you can also dress them up a little bit with camel color. These are camel colored shoes that are slip-ons, and they work really well to be dressed down or dressed up. So you can wear these to work, or you can wear them, you know, to the park or on a date, or really anytime. But they go go really nicely with a fall wardrobe. So, my last pair of shoes that I'm really excited about are something that I wouldn't wear often because I am very clumsy and short. So these help with the height, but once I have an extra 2 inches under my feet, lifting me up like that, I sort of lose my balance a little bit. I can definitely walk in heels, but I'm not very confident going up and down stairs or anything like that. So I also just think they're not that great for you, as much as I love how they look, and I wish that I was better walking in them. I have nothing against people wearing heels, but I don't think they're super comfortable for the body for long periods of time. So I personally stray away from them, but when I do wear them, I wear something like this. These I think are super cute because they have that nice big bow, and they look good in bare feet or with stockings on. And the color scheme is what really makes them my go-to fall pumps. They're sort of a chevron pattern if you look really closely, and they're in a dark brown and then like a camel or a light brown color, and then the actual heel is almost like a faux wood look, really dark brown, kind of glossy. And these look really good, not only with dresses, but also with jeans. So I'm really excited to put them back into the rotation. This is just the accompanying scarf to the gold one that I showed earlier. I cannot stress enough how soft and comfortable these are. And this one has a tag that says Apartment 9, which I think is a Kohl's brand too. But I got this olive scarf and the gold scarf together as a present quite a few Christmases ago. So they're just so soft. They may still have something similar to this in the stores, and if you find it and you find them in a good solid like this, it's always just a nice extra little thing to have in your closet. It can go with a really large variety of outfits and not make you look too dressed up, I guess. And lastly, this is my sock hat beanie, which is a fall favorite of mine when I'm just running around town or hanging out on the weekends. Like I said, I love hats, and this little pom-pom is super fun and reminds me of a lot of the hats I had when I was a little girl. And also, I don't know if you know Sock Monkey, but Sock Monkey was a huge part of my childhood too. The books, and then I also had a full Sock Monkey, and my best friend Matt gave me this. And it's my favorite hat. Okay, last thing that you need to round off your outfit is a good bag. And even though I never carry bags, so I'm probably the last person who should be giving bag advice, I do have 2 bags that I love for fall. This is the first one, and it's a really simple over-the-shoulder bag that has one outside zipper, which provides a good space for a quick grab like a cell phone, or if you have something you want to protect a little more. And then on the inside, this one just releases by strong magnet. And it's just a deep pouch, kind of like a Mary Poppins pouch. And there's another zipper within for your more discreet items or for your credit card and things that you really don't want to lose. And lastly is this bag, which I got as a gift from my mom. That last one was from TJ Maxx, by the way, and I think it was like $7.99, $7.99. And I just think that the brown and the black color scheme goes really well for most fall outfits. This is more of a travel bag. I would never carry a purse this large unless I was trying to smuggle a child or something. I don't see why anyone would need a bag this big, but this is what I'll take for an overnight or something. It's just one giant space on the inside, and it actually has a little side pocket and space for some pens so that they don't get lost at the bottom. The main thing I love is the color scheme. I don't know how well this is showing up, but the pattern is sort of floral, and the straps are a nice dark chocolate brown, and the colors on the bag are sort of a rusty red color that's accented and highlighted really nicely by more of a robin's egg blue, and all of that is on a cream colored background. So this bag is definitely the perfect size for just a 1 or 2 night stay, and it's absolutely got the fall vibe that I like. So I guess that is all for my fall haul video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know that it was a little personal and had some rambling and some anecdotes, but I get really excited and happy looking at all this stuff and just thinking of what's to come, and hoping that I can share that with you, and maybe you'll get into the spirit too if you're in a funk. Just start thinking about the future and thinking about your decoration plans. You know, they don't have to be expensive. I, of all people, know that money is really tight sometimes, and getting decorations that are suitable can seem like a really tall order when you don't have a lot of extra cash to go around, but there are plenty of DIY ideas, and plenty of cheaper but not ugly decorations that you can get just at the dollar store or craft store. So don't give up, and let me know if you have any cool decoration ideas or anything you want to share. I've made wreaths and other sort of displays, but haven't done anything really wild outside of that for Halloween. I am considering this year, I saw on Pinterest there are these floating witches hats, and you put an LED sort of light in them, and it has a really neat sort of Harry Potter Great Hall vibe. Just these hats floating over the porch, and you can set them at different lengths and stuff, and I'm definitely interested in doing something like that if I ever had the money for it. So I think this is just one of those things that can get you excited and put you in a good mood. So I don't think there's any reason not to enjoy that while you can. And I hope that this was somewhat stimulating in that way for you, but also relaxing. And there's also a recipe that I really, really love. It's for a chicken tortilla soup. And I know that I've been vegan before and vegetarian before for quite a while, and this is not a recipe that I think would be easy to transmute into one of those diet categories. But if you are a meat eater, I might post the recipe in my comments and just pin it to the top, because I think it is the best fall soup that you can make. It's really easy and just really starts the season off right. So I hope that you all are doing well and getting ready to have a really restful sleep or relaxing day, or maybe you're feeling inspired and you're gonna go have your own little zen time to prepare for the upcoming months. But whatever you're doing, I hope that you're doing it and feeling relaxed and just in a good place. So if you need anything, feel free to message me. And in the meantime, I'll just see you in my next video.